The People's Association was one entity where the AGO found lapses in financial procedures. Today, its Deputy Chairman Lim Swee Say said that the PA has taken swift and decisive action to put things right. He detailed those steps in Parliament.
The latest AGO report had pointed to financial lapses by the PA over tenancy contracts as well as claims submitted by a Citizens Consultative Committee chairman. On tenancy contracts, Mr. Lim Swee Say explained that PA's financial rules allow for the waiver of competition so long as projects benefit residents. Community club management committees, though, have to seek prior approval for this waiver from the PA HQ. The AGO had cited 13 tenancy contracts which failed to do so. Among them, a contract for the renewal and continuation of childcare services, contracts for food outlets, and contracts for the provision of children enrichment, food and entertainment services.
Notwithstanding the good intention of the CCMCs in bringing these services for the benefits of the residents, and that they had benchmarked the rental rates offered against similar rental rates in the area, they did contravene the financial rules of PA in not seeking prior approval from PHQ for the waiver of tender. PA acknowledges our shortcoming in this area and has taken immediate steps to enhance compliance.
Mr. Lim also detailed the 7 claims made by the CCC chairman of Admiralty Ward in Sembawang GRC. They were for financial aid given to a needy family at a funeral wake. Mr. Lim said there was no supporting document for this. The amount was, however, witnessed by a few other volunteers who were present. There were 2 claims for a working and appreciation dinner for volunteers and community partners. These claims were supported by receipts. And finally, 4 claims for work plan retreats. Mr. Lim said original receipts for 3 of the 4 claims, amounting to more than $56,000, were misplaced. But the CCC had subsequently verified the amounts with proof of payment from the vendor. Mr. Lim said although there was no evidence of dishonesty, the CCC chairman concerned has taken personal responsibility for these lapses and resigned from his position.
As a state board managing public funds, PA takes our financial governance seriously. Our accounts are subjected to annual statutory audits. And the last time our accounts received an adverse opinion was for financial year 2012. The adverse opinion was issued not for financial irregularity, but because the grassroots organization's account were not included in the PA's financial statements. PA has since consolidated all the GROs account into our financial statement. We have received clean opinion for our financial year 2013 and financial year 2014 financial statements.
Now, Mr. Lim said the AGO's audit is over and above the PA's own internal annual audit. He said by having multiple layers of checks, the PA ensures a high level of vigilance over the integrity of its financial management.
The financial statements and accounting system of the People's Association and its grassroots organizations are in order and are subject to internal and external audits every year. Mr. Lim Swee Say made that point in response to an adjournment motion filed in Parliament by Non-Constituency MP Lina Chiam. Mrs. Chiam said the recent AGO report calls into question the competency of certain ministries and statutory boards and the soundness of their financial mechanisms and practices. As an example, she said the report shows that it's only the 2nd time since financial year 2000-2001 that the grassroots organizations under the PA have had their financial statements audited.
It was only in financial year 2013-2014 that the PA has provided the financial statements of the GROs to their own auditors. The PA is expected to be responsible and accountable to its citizens as to how the taxpayer funds have been used by GROs. Citizens deserve to know the financial health of the GROs, not just moving forward, but also of the past years, 10 years.
Mr. Lim said that contrary to Mrs. Chiam's claim, the PA and GRO's accounts are in fact subjected to annual internal audits. He explained that there had been a change in the statutory board financial reporting standards earlier, and this meant that PA was then required to include the various GRO's accounts into its financial statements, which was not the case previously.
It took us 4 years to consolidate these 1,800 GRO accounts into the PA financial statements. The consolidation was completed by FY 2013. And for that year, the first year of consolidation, our financial statement received a clean audit opinions for that year, 2013, first year of our consolidated account, and likewise FY 2014. This means that public funds are properly spent and accounted for.
Mrs. Chiam also questioned the Grassroots Finance Review Committee, which was set up by PA. She said the fact that it is chaired by 3 grassroots leaders raises doubts over the independence of the committee. Mr. Lim said the 3 members are from the private sector, have standing in the financial community and expertise to guide the PA in this review. He added that PA also has access to advisors from the Finance Ministry. Mrs. Chiam also suggested that the government centralise procurement activities into one agency in view of the fact that poor procurement practices seem to occur persistently in statutory boards. To this, Senior Minister of State for Finance Josephine Teo said the recurrent lapses are the exception rather than the norm. She also pointed out that for high-value projects, the approval process is already highly centralised.
Projects above $18 million must be approved by the Development Planning Committee, comprising 3 cabinet ministers, after rigorous scrutiny by the senior officials in the Ministry of Finance and the ministry concerned, before tenders can even be called. Approval of lower value procurements is typically decentralized for greater efficiency and responsiveness. Even so, the process is governed by a clear set of rules and complemented by regular audits. For common goods and services, some forms of centralized purchasing are in fact being practiced today.